Hi, it's Mary. Welcome to the Paper Turtle. Today, I don't know what I'm doing. Do you ever walk into your craft room and sit down and take a look around and just not know what to do? Maybe you feel like crafting, but you're not really sure exactly what you want to craft. Maybe you have so many things you want to do, you just don't know where to start. Maybe you just don't have your mojo. Maybe it's just not there and you just don't know what to do. I do that a lot. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now. I just came in here and I'm not really sure exactly what I'm going to do, but we're going to do something. And I think I'm going to call this like a this and that kind of video where I'm just doing whatever pops up, whatever comes to mind. Now, when I do this, because I do it a lot, sometimes I start just by dealing with something that's on my desk. And that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to deal with something that's sitting here on my table that is kind of in my way and needs to be dealt with. So I'm not going to try to shift the camera and move the camera around to show you, but I'm going to take a pile that I have on my table and I'm going to bring it over here and I'm going to deal with it. And that might lead to something creative. It might lead to organizing something. It might, who knows? I don't know what it's going to lead to. It needs to be done. So I have this small pile of stuff. When I come across things throughout the day that I think I might use in junk journaling, it ends up just sitting on part of my table here until I deal with it. When I am working on a project, sometimes I will just set things on the other end of the table until I deal with it. After a while, it gets piled up so much I have to deal with it. So that's what I'm going to start with right now and see where this goes. So I picked this blind cleaner thing up one day to see if it would help. I have a lot of blinds in my house, and see if this would help clean my blinds. It doesn't. It really doesn't. But look at this packaging. This is pretty cool with the ring here. And I tore it up here, but that I can fix that. But I just thought the packaging was a really cool shape, and I want to do something with that. I'm not sure what. Maybe we'll work on that today. Maybe we'll play with that. I don't know. I'm just going to set it there because we might play with it. This is something I used the other day working with something. This is like a corner. It says quick corner. And I have a few of these with different shapes. I don't know if like architects used to use them or who used them. Maybe just artists. You could use this to make like mandalas or something. But anyway, I use this to make some of my corner things. I don't know. I used it the other day and didn't put it away. That's my point. So I'm putting it away. I was working with napkins the other day. I was making, decorating some envelopes. And let me show them to you. They came out really cute. So first I have this one. This is for a swap that I'm doing in a Facebook group, and I haven't got my partner name yet, but it's ready to go. So this was a napkin, and I just Mod Podged them onto envelopes, and that's what I use for Happy Mail. So I did a whole bunch of them so that I'd have some ready, all different size envelopes. And they come out differently depending on like the color of the envelope and the background of the napkin. Sometimes I overlap them onto the back. They're just fun. I like decorating my envelopes like this. and another one in the same napkin. So that's what I was using napkins for the other day. And so some of the white parts of the napkins are still hanging around. I use these to mop up glue and stuff. Very handy. I was also using wax paper so that it wouldn't stick when I had to turn it over. So let me put that away. And this is what happens, and I'm sure it happens to everybody, that, you know, you get working on things, you just set it aside and it piles up and messes up your desk. These are left over from a journal that I was putting together for a swap. The same swap. Here, I'll just show it to you. What the swap is, is we had to make a plain one signature journal using 5 pieces of paper. Don't decorate it or anything. And you're going to send your journal to your swap partner. And also, the swap was to fill up a bag with goodies and embellishments and things that they can use to decorate their journal. So this is mine, and I made this journal. Can you see? Let me see if I can pull you out a little bit more. You don't want to see that. Okay, that wasn't attractive, was it? So this is my journal. I don't know. Just keep adjusting, Mary. It's fabric that I attached to a manila file folder. And then I sewed around it. My sewing skills are horrible, but, you know, I just attached this lace. And then on the inside is scrapbook paper, front and back. And then just the pages on the inside, and we're not supposed to decorate them. But I wanted to put a little bit of personality in. This is from a page from a little flower book. Some grid paper, a doily, some dyed paper. This is from an insect book. Some ledger paper. I don't know if you can see it very well. I don't know how the lighting is, but the lines on it are purple. It's the coolest ledger paper I ever found. An envelope. And some more dyed paper. And then, you know, the back sides of it all. So then you send your plain journal and your bag of goodies to your swap partner, and that's what you get in return. And then you have a journal and some goodies to play with. Sounds like a really fun swap. It's the first time I'm doing it. I think it's the first time the group is doing it. So that was really fun to put that together, and the whole bag of goodies and stuff. So these are leftover papers from that, because I always tend to pull out paper and not use it. So I'm going to put this back where it came from, hopefully neatly. I think this goes in here. I have a thing on a basket here that I have some dyed paper in that I can easily pull from when I'm making a journal. I'm running out of dyed paper, though. I'm going to have to beg people for more. All right, some things. We stopped at this antique place. My last name is Waldo, by the way, if you didn't already know that. And these are for my personal daily journal, which I'm going to show you also. They're right here. I've been keeping up with it pretty good. I do have things that I need to do in here, and maybe that's something we'll end up doing today. I don't know. I'm not promising you. But what I'm doing in here is each week I'm making a calendar for that week. And yes, I know I copied that from Barbara at 49 Dragonflies. She calls hers a planner. I don't plan. So mine is just my journal. And I write in it what we've done each day that week, or if we did nothing, I write that too. And then if we took pictures, I put pictures in. I will also put in, like, so here we went to this Chinese restaurant. It's a very good restaurant. And I put our fortunes in there. Here's one where we went to the county fair, and I put our tickets in there. So there's a variety of things in here, and this is my, well, like I said, my daily journal. So this will go in here on whatever day we went to this place. I have to, again, I'm keeping up fairly well, but I do have some catching up to do. I think it was this week that we went there. Yes, this week. And this, I picked this up at the county fair, but I'm not going to use it on that page. This is going in, I'm going to cut this up and put this in my glue book. But there's also a couple of cowboy pictures in there that I want to use. So this has to go somewhere else. This is getting fat. It's supposed to be for the entire year. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. I think I'm just going to set it here for right now. I'm not getting much cleaned out, am I? This, I think I picked this up also at the county fair. I'm just going to stick it on that page. I don't know if I have any place to actually put it in the book right now. What I'm doing in this album is I'm trying to go through, first make the weekly calendar and write what I did so that I don't forget what I did that week. And then put in pictures. There's my mom on her birthday. Put in the pictures and things that go with what I did that week. And then maybe go back and do a little, he probably didn't want you to see that. Probably go back and do a little bit of embellishing and maybe some more in-depth journaling and stuff like that. But from the beginning, I want to just get the calendars and the pictures in and then go back. So whether I'll ever go back or not, I don't know, but at least the information and the pictures will be in there. So sometimes I just stick things in there. This is just a bag, so I'm going to put it in my bag thing over here. This is some junk mail we got from our insurance company. And look at this. Don't look at the words or anything. It doesn't matter what it says. It's a pop-up. Oh my goodness. This is going to be so fun to play with. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it, but isn't that fun? So I have two of them, one that came from me and one from my husband. So those are going in my, I have a thing over there on the other side of the room where I put like junk mail envelopes, and I've got a couple cereal boxes and the cereal bags that go in them and stuff like that. That kind of junk I have over there, and that's another thing that I should do one day on a video. Just grab some of that stuff and play with it, because I never do anything with it. I just collect it like this. So this will go over there. So I'm putting it right back where I just took it from. Oh my gosh. All right. now I have some catalogs. I have Montgomery Ward catalog. Did you know Montgomery Ward still sends out a catalog? I didn't know that until one day I was at my sister-in-law's house, and she had one sitting there. I'm like, what is this? And she says, oh yeah, I get that sometimes. So I actually went online and sent for one. And so I get it every once in a while. You know, it reminds me of Drake. What were those? Remember the Drake, not Robert Drake. I'm thinking Robert Blake. Something Drake catalogs you used to get. Or the ABC catalogs. Who remembers those things? That's what this Montgomery Ward catalog reminds me of. The prices aren't like super cheap or anything, but I guess they're okay. Not really much in here that I really want to buy. And they're certainly not like the old Montgomery Ward catalogs or the JCPenney catalogs or Sears or any of those that were all nice and thick. But I use it for a glue book. Or I can use it for a masterboard book. Now I've shown you that before, right? I think I have, but in case you weren't watching, let me show it to you. What I do. So this is a catalog of some type. Oh, it's one of the advertising ones. And what I've done in here is I just take a page. Here's one that I've started to use. And I make a masterboard on it with the scraps from whatever project I just got done doing or whatever's sitting on my table here. And I make a masterboard. And I leave the back side of it as it is because once I cut it up and use it, then I'll cover the back if I need to cover the back. Like this one I've already cut out of a couple of times. And they're all different because they're different papers that I'm using. So they all have different colors and feels. And you can do whatever you want with them. This one I used a piece of. I could stamp on here. I could spray on here. This one I did in strips. And so the whole book, or the whole catalog, okay, I don't know why that's in there. That was stamping off of things, cleaning off my stamps. So the whole, then you fill up the whole catalog. All of these pages I will do masterboards on. Then I have this whole thing full of masterboards to choose from when I want something like that. So that's an idea to use these type of magazines. So I have this one. This is a local advertising magazine, which I will either use to glue on or I will use as a masterboard book. Or I may go through and see something, maybe like an ad for a restaurant that we went to, or sometimes this advertises like events like the county fair or whatever. So I may go through and cut pieces, pictures or something out and use it in a journal. So yeah, I save these. So I have two of those and this. And now I do have a whole pile of these things. And they're unfortunately getting ahead of me because I'm not using them as fast as I'm collecting them. And then this I just got in the mail. This is from the post office. I don't know how I started getting these things, but I love them. It tells all about the upcoming stamps. They're going to do a sea turtle stamp. I can't wait for that one to come out. And I just got the manatee stamps. I was happy to get those, but then I don't want to use them because they're so cute. But here, can you see the turtles, the sea turtle stamps? So cool. I can't wait till they come out. It says coming new for spring. So I don't know if they have them yet or not. You can get them at your post office or you can order them online. But if you want one of these catalogs, now here's horse stamps. Look at all the pictures in here. There's like tons of them. So get yourself one of these catalogs from the post office. I don't know how you get it. Just go online to the post office, I guess, and ask for one. They'll send it to you. All kinds of images in here. There's the manatee stamp. And it'll show you stamps that are coming out. And if you want special stamps, if you do a lot of mailing or something, you can go and order the stamps. Which is very cool. They have little notebooks, field notes, notebooks. I wonder how good they are. I wonder if you can use them for a junk journal. I bet you could. So check it out. So that's actually going with books to cut up. I have some over here on the floor. This is a little local newspaper that shows up in our mailbox once in a while. I saved these mostly just to read them, and I haven't read them yet. Newspaper paper isn't the greatest to work with. You can, but it's not the best. So I don't know. I'll probably read these and then get rid of them. I don't know. We'll see. This is a thing that our local newspaper, I guess, puts out every year. And it's got a lot of local pictures in it. But again, it's on newspaper paper. But that's all right. Because these are, I don't know, the paper's a little bit better than a newspaper. Maybe one little step ahead. And they're all pictures taken locally. So it's all local animals, local events. Well, there's people too. I won't really put the people in my journals. But and then there's ads for local places. Again, for my daily journal, if I go there and I want to make note of it, then here's pictures of the county fair. So this is kind of a fun book, and they're free at, they'll do like events where there's vendors and stuff. Usually the newspaper will have a booth trying to sell the newspaper that I don't think anybody buys. And these are free. So there's tons and tons and tons of pictures in here. So I have a couple of those that I still need to do something with. Oh, you guys, I won this. I won this from, it's Echo Park and Cartabella, and they do giveaways on their Facebook pages, and I won this. This is a paper pack from them. Let me show this to you. This is like so cool. This is the second time I won something from them. I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, I won. I rarely win things, but I won this. So it's their Bloom collection. Let's see. And it's nice, almost textured cardstock. Isn't that pretty? And it is double-sided. Some journaling cards. Very pretty. That one's pretty. It's a little dark for my taste, but I do like it. These are all definitely things I will use in journals and or my scrapbooking. Now the cut apart page. It reminds me of old-fashioned wallpaper. So pretty. Another cut apart page. These are good sized for a little tuck spot or something, or a little pocket on your pages. Oh, the bees. That's cute. Can you see that pattern? That's very cute. Well, that one's pretty. Another cut apart. And then this one is stickers. I'm glad they don't do chipboard. I think that you might be able to get the things in chipboard, but I prefer the stickers to chipboard now. I used to use a lot of chipboard in scrapbooking, but it's too thick to use in my journals for me, because everything, you know, adds bulk, and I don't know why it worked okay in scrapbooking, but it doesn't quite work in the junk journal world for me. So I have a whole thing full of chipboard that who knows if I will ever use. All right, so this is going on my shelf behind me. If I have room. Oh, I do. It slipped right in there nicely. Okay. This is a mailing envelope that came something. And I love making my journals out of this now. That's like my go-to journal, my favorite journal, I think, now. Okay, so I went through that pile of stuff, and I didn't really come up with anything that sparked me to actually do. But I'm not really done yet. I have these that I need to cut apart. These are some really pretty pictures that I had gotten out of a book or something at some point. And I, actually, I think I'm going to do it different. And what was I going to say? Oh, I put them all on a, jeez, Mary. Put them all on a, my copier. Wow, Mary, come on. And I make copies for me to use. And so a few of them I gave to the person that I'm sending that journal to, because I just thought that they were really pretty and the colors went with the colors in the journal that I sent. So now I have these kind of random things, and I'm just going to kind of trim them up just a little bit so that I can put them away. So when you go into your room, sometimes it doesn't have to always be doing something super creative. You know, we're not... I don't feel like I have to do something super creative every time I go in my room. Let's put it that way. Maybe you do, but I don't. Because sometimes I'm just not on, you know. That's good enough, because when I use it, I'll trim it up some more. So yeah, sometimes I'm just not. Actually, I am going to use my trimmer. I think it's faster. So I don't I try not to stress about it. I try to just, okay, I'm going in my room and I'm going to do something. And sometimes I just sit here playing on my phone and I don't do anything. But those days I feel like, I went in my room and spent all this time in there and I didn't accomplish a thing. So I like to try to at least accomplish something. I don't know. So I guess this might be a good time to tell you about why I was absent for so long. I mean, you may not have even noticed that I was absent, because I did have some videos that I had previously done, and I did put those up. But I did go quite a while without putting any videos up because we had some stuff going on, and I just couldn't get in here or I didn't feel like going in here to do anything. So I feel like I had several months where I really just didn't accomplish anything in here. And I had to tell myself, that's okay. That's okay to do that. You don't have to always be doing something. You don't have to. My husband had a medical issue that took us quite by surprise. And I'm sure that those of you who have been through that type of a thing understand that it drains you. It drains you emotionally as well as physically. I mean, it definitely drained him physically, but for me, it also drained me emotionally. And I couldn't, this wasn't, for some people, this might be like, I don't know, an escape or a therapy, maybe. But for me, I was just like, no, I can't deal with this kind of stuff right now. Let me just get through my day. So, it was day to day, and it took quite a few months out of us. He was diagnosed in December, and he was told not to overexert himself. Well, for my husband, who is very physically fit and very active, that was like, telling a baby sit still. And it was, like I said, it came as a complete shock and surprise to him. So that wasn't something he was prepared to hear or to deal with. And of course, when your spouse is dealing with something, you're also dealing with it. So from December, when he was diagnosed and told not to exert himself, until the end of February, when he had surgery, it was like we didn't feel like we could do anything because we were afraid. We didn't know, is he going to drop dead? Is he going to, what's going to happen if he overexerts himself? So it was kind of a scary time. Then the surgery itself is always scary. Open heart surgery. It was, yeah, scary. And he was in denial, really, because he was so physically fit, and this was such a surprise to him that this was even happening. And so it was very, very hard for him to deal with, and then it's hard for me to deal with him dealing with it. So there was no crafting being done at all. And then after the surgery was recovery time. And that's when I started to get back in here, because as he recovered more and more, and it was like, okay, he's good. He's out of the woods. He's healthy again. He's getting back to normal, and everything is good. Now I am getting back to normal also, and everything is good. So, like I said, I'm sure if you've gone through this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it just zaps you. It did. It zapped us. But we're all good. We're healthy. We are moving along with life. And in fact, thinking life is very fragile and precious and short, and can't be screwing around with wasting time. Let's go do some things. So we have to figure out our cat situation, and once we figure out our cat situation, we can go take some trips. It's what we really want to do, but we have the cats, and we don't have anybody close by. I mean, we have in the past asked a couple of our neighbors to take care of the cats for us, but we want to go for almost 2 weeks, and I hate to impose on a neighbor to take up that much of their time to come and take care of our cats. And then there's people that advertise that they will come and take care of your cats while you're on vacation. But how do you trust those people in your home with your animals? You know what I mean? It's kind of scary. But we figure we got to do it if we want to go on a vacation, because we can't. We don't know of any other way to do it, you know. All right, so I cut up those pages that I have made copies of, and they go in this book. I made this little notebook. And this one is labeled people, so I'm storing my people pictures in here. And these are all pictures that are cut from books or magazines, or maybe they're die cuts or whatever. And there's all different kinds in here. So this is where I have these. I think I'm going to just put the whole pile just in here, because I know what's in there. This is the original from a book. This is not an original. So I'm going to put that original on the top. So if I want any of those, they're in there. So I'm going to do this, make these notebooks up with different subject matter. I have another one here that is a photo album. This is another way you can do it. I may have shown you this before too. I probably have. So this is just one of these photo albums. And I have pictures, again, cut out of books and magazines in here. It's really good to have these ready, all cut out and ready, because when you're in the middle of working on something, or me, I don't know why I speak for other people. When I'm in the middle of working on something, I don't want to have to stop, go in the other room where I keep my books, look through the books, try to find the right picture, and then you sit there and you have to fussy cut it while you're in the middle of doing something. If I have them already done and in a little book like this, I can just say, oh, I'm going to go get a picture of a skunk out of my book. And I've got a couple of pictures of skunks to choose from. It just helps your project flow better if you've got things already prepared. Then the problem comes to storing them and how to organize it efficiently so that you can find it. This was what I've come up with for these type of things. So it's not just animals, but eventually this will become just animals probably, or I'll move the animals into another book. I don't know. But I have other things in here too. And I had some people in here and I ran out of room. So I decided to move the people. And now I've got other things in here. And it's full, so I really need to make another book, but I have to figure out what I want to take out of here and put in another book. See, I've got all kinds of things in here, artwork, and because even now, if I want to find something, I have to look through the book, but that's okay. But the more I have it categorized, the easier it'll be to find something. People, animals, objects, whatever. So this is what I do with the things I cut out. Now, I also have another storage system for this type of thing. And I'll show you that too. While we're at it, I might as well, right? And here's my problem, is that I have things stored in different ways in different places. And that's what becomes a problem. One system is probably the best, but so I have one of these and it's big, takes up a lot of space, but I like this system. I have everything labeled. I don't know what you can see. So I have birds, butterflies, cameras. I don't know why I have cameras, but I have a lot of cameras in there. Flowers, frames, insects, leaves, mushrooms, numbers, page tabs, something not labeled, people, more people. These people need to go in with the other people, I think. And then Tim Holtz people, which is a whole different thing. And turtles. I had a lot of turtles. So this is just another organization for things that I cut out of books and magazines. And this one has room to grow. I have 3 empty spots in there. So one day I will figure out what to do with that. Okay, what else do I have over here on my table? This is going to be a really boring video. I'm so sorry. Well, you know what? How much time do we have? Not a whole lot of time. What can I do with this? I want to do something with this. This looks like a fun thing. I'll want to cover it, of course. So should I just take this piece of cardstock right here and cover it? Since I'm not sure where I'm going to be using it or how I'm going to be using it, it makes a little bit of sense to be neutral, right? I'm trying to take this plastic thing off because it's just adding bulk and I don't need it. So maybe I should go with something a little bit more neutral rather than that dark green, because I don't know how I'm going to use it yet. Here's I don't know what that is. Here's this, which is neutral. Let me just start with that and see where we go, because I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it, really, even. I don't know. Let's just play. I know that I'll want to have it covered, so that's a way for me to start. So what do you do when you just go in your room and you don't have a plan? You don't know what you want to do, but you want to do something. I usually kind of start by cleaning or organizing something. I can't get into big organizing projects unless I'm prepared to really, really, really get into it, because with my organizing projects, I start something and then there's a domino effect and I have to do something else, and it just doesn't make for like a quick 1 hour. It's more like a quick 5-day project. like my stamps. Have I showed you my stamps yet? I don't think I did. So a while back, long time ago, like a couple of years ago maybe, I found at the thrift store a bag of stamps, postage stamps. It was real cheap. I grabbed it up. And when I got home, I started looking at it, and they were all international stamps. Some old, some new, huge variety of stamps. So cool. But they sat in that original bag that I bought them in for a long time. A really long time. And I'm trying to talk and work at the same time. And so the other day, thrifting, I found one of those stamp album things, not the kind with the pictures of the stamps where you find the stamp and you put it on the picture, but the kind with the clear, like, pockets, like, I guess, where you just put the I'll show it to you in a second here. So I found one of those, and I was like, oh yes, I need this. So I got it, and I brought it home, and after I did my haul video, I decided I was going to, instead of just setting that thing aside, I was going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to go through my stamps, and I'm going to put all these stamps into this book. Well, I started doing it, and oh my goodness. You know, those stamps, they're small, and they're a thin piece of paper. And there were a lot of stamps. A lot more than I imagined. Now, I had been going into the bag and using them every once in a while, or I would pick some out and send them to somebody in Happy Mail or something. But I had no idea how many stamps I had until I actually took them all out of the bag. And I decided to sort them by color so that I could find what I was looking for. And it became a week-long project. No kidding. It took me such a long time, and I was so sick of it by the time I was done with it. And I ended up with a whole lot of extra stamps that I will be offering up on a sale video here one of these days, if I ever get to doing that again. Here's the book, and it's tall. It's a tall book. It is, what is that number? It's 12 inches tall. And probably about 8.5 inches wide. And so it has these, what do you call them? I don't know what you call them. Not that. These little slits, and you stick the stamps in them. So I went through and I sorted all the stamps. This book is full from that one bag of stamps. I couldn't believe it. So these are all like florals, and I've got some, these are like fairies. They're so cute. I've got butterflies and mushrooms and bugs and all kinds of things. But then I sorted them by, oh, here's some more. Dogs and cats, birds, horses, tons of horses. These are miscellaneous. Then I sorted them by color. You should have seen me going through and sorting these stamps. Oh my God. So there's some really old ones. There's some more current ones. These pieces of art. I mean, they're like miniature pieces of art. Sorted them all. Filled up the book. Whatever color I want, I can just go to and find. Or subject. It's beautiful. Isn't it gorgeous? But that's an organizing project that I started one day on a whim, and it took me a week to finish it. I'm so glad I did it, because they are gorgeous and beautiful, but I have to be careful what I start. You know, I got to be able to finish what I start. And so on these days like this, I just try to find little things to try to do. But sometimes I start a whole journal or something. Not the best cutting job, but it did the trick. Okay, so there's that side. Now I need to do, it looks like a paint palette, doesn't it? That is not the best job right there. But that's okay. When I ink it, you won't be able to tell. So I need something on the other side too. Here's a piece of, oh gosh, sorry about that. Oh my goodness gracious. What are we doing here? Why does my thing keep moving? You almost fell out completely. This is kind of a grayish piece of paper. I'll use that for the other side. I don't know what I'm doing with this. Maybe it'll come to me as I'm working on it. Or maybe I'll just put it in my little basket over there as something I started and didn't finish. Am I going to cut this out? I don't know. I'll just glue it. I was thinking when I saw this of like a peekaboo window or something. But I'm not sure exactly where or how I want to use it like that. And now it's a thick piece of cardboard. Where's that napkin I put over here earlier? I'm just trying to think as I'm doing this. What can I use this for? I don't know. I mean, I don't even have to keep it this shape. I could make it into a different shape if I want to. And you're gonna be like really mad at me if I don't do something with it, because now you're like, "Ooh, what are you gonna do with that? What are you gonna do with that?" And I'm probably gonna do nothing with it right now. I am probably going to just put it in my stash of things to work on. I don't know. You guys, what should I do with it? Now I really feel like I should do something. So this little finger knife is made by Fiskars, and I've had it for years. Never had to change the blade yet. Or maybe I did once, I don't know. And it works really well. It takes a little bit of practice, but once you get the hang of it, it's glue. It works really well to cut out interior things or around the shape of something, or you know, whatever. So when you cover something, if you, oh, this is the top there where there's, when you cover something, if you take the an emery board and you sand the edges, it gets off any little leftover bits. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. And it smooths it out. So if you've got like parts that are a little bit uneven, a little bit sticking up, you can smooth them out with the emery board, or with a sanding block like this. This is a little bit rougher, I find, and the emery board can get into smaller places too. Like I can get into here with the emery board. Gets off all those little extra things, you know, like your nails. And then when you ink it, it'll be nice and smooth and even. You won't even know that there was any flaws. Unless, of course, you have no idea what you're going to do with the thing. Like me. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Alright, well, it's good enough for right now. So there's a cool piece of packaging. It does look like a painter's palette. But that's not what I had in mind when I saw it first. But now that it's covered, that's what it looks like. But I don't have any use for a painter's palette like in a journal. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm putting it in my basket. Let me show you my basket. It's again, I think I've shown you this before, but I have this basket. It's a really cute basket. I don't know if you can see it. It's got these tiles right here. And the handle is metal, and then it's got like wicker woven in through the metal frame. And anyway, I have it full of, I'm trying to get it to show you, like, just pieces of paper. Not just pieces of paper, but like, okay, there's some packaging, there's some half-made somethings, there's just, I don't know, just, yeah, a lot of packaging, which packaging shouldn't be in here, but that's where it ended up. Things that are like started but never finished, bases for things. And then sometimes when I have a day like today where I just come in and I don't know what I'm doing, I will pick from this basket and I will make something from whatever I picked out of the basket. My problem with that is, and tell me what you think about this too, then I end up with a bunch of embellishments, tags, journaling cards, pockets, whatever it is I've made, that don't go with any of the journals that I'm working on. And so I have this basket full of them, and what am I going to do with them? Eventually they might go with a journal, but they don't right now, so they're just piling up like everything else in my room. So is it better to have completed things piled up like that, or is it better to have a basket full of incomplete items to be completed at a later time? I have no idea. I have both, so yeah. You know, I don't know if this video is going to make it because when I watch it back, I'm going to probably be very bored. But that's all I have because we are out of time. And I don't know what I accomplished, and I don't know if you've learned anything or were entertained in the least. But that's what we got for today. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. We'll see you next time. Bye.